Thanks for tuning in. In this video, I'll be discussing the Japanese bosozoku biker gang, the Black Emperors, the origin of the gang, notable members, and how the gang forged an alliance of biker gangs that is linked to the Kanto criminal group that rivaled the Yakuza at one point in the 2000s. Many legendary Japanese outlaws began their criminal careers with the Black Emperors. Before I start, I want to thank you for clicking on my video. I just started posting on YouTube this year. I would love it if anyone watching this would like, subscribe, leave a comment. Any feedback would be much appreciated. I'm trying to grow this channel, and this is the very beginning of my journey. Thank you. There are many theories out there about how the Black Emperor bosozoku gang started, but the likely origin story takes place in the 1960s with a man named Yatabe from Kunitachi City in the western part of the greater Tokyo area. Yatabe gathered a group of local delinquent youth motorcycle enthusiasts and called the team Black Emperors. The history surrounding Yatabe is a bit murky. One particular theory is that he was born in the late 1940s or early 50s and was born to an American GI father. Today, Yatabe is a legendary figure among Black Emperor associates and is considered the founder of the gang. There's almost no information about what kind of person he was, and his true identity is shrouded in mystery. According to the Black Emperor homepage, the person who is considered to be the first documented president of the Black Emperors is a man named Izumi Teruo. He is said to have founded the Black Emperors together with Yatabe. After leaving the gang, Teruo joined various right-wing groups and even tried his hand in politics. Teruo reportedly passed away in 2014 of a heart attack at 65 years old, but this information cannot be verified. The Black Emperor website listed Teruo as deceased, but I don't know who runs the site and how trustworthy the information is. Honma Yuji is said to be the third president of the Black Emperors. Honma dropped out of high school and joined the Black Emperors soon after. He served as the third honorary leader after serving as the head of the Shinjuku branch. He appeared in the documentary film Godspeed You, Black Emperor, featuring many gang members and changing the lives of some of them for the better. Honma was liked by director Mitsuo Yanagimachi after appearing as an active bosozoku gang member. He made his acting debut in the lead role of the film 19-Year-Old Map, released in 1979. Honma Yuji showed his acting talent and won Best Newcomer Award at the first Yokohama Film Festival in February 1980. He continued his acting career and starred in many films during the 1980s. However, he himself did not originally aspire to be an actor, and retired from the entertainment industry after the film Yakuza Wives was released in 1989. The Black Emperors are considered the founders/predecessors of the Kanto Rengo, an alliance between the Black Emperors, Mad Special, and Kamimachi Kojiro, the biggest gangs in the Kanto area at the time. By the end of the 1970s, the Kanto Rengo had become a large-scale motorcycle gang with over 2,000 members. The Black Emperors would later unintentionally become the parent organization of the Kanto Rengo of the 1990s and early 2000s, feared as a gang of violent thugs without Yakuza-like structure or honor codes. By the early 1990s, Japan's post-war economic bubble burst, and many fortunes were gone overnight. The Japanese government passed a series of laws targeting organized crime gangs. Consequently, membership dropped as kids could no longer afford to buy motorcycles, and getting marked out by the police as a member wasn't worth it. These new laws made it so Yakuza members cannot open bank accounts, rent apartments, or start a cell phone plan. Some Yakuza left Japan for other Asian countries, while others began having normal tax-paying jobs during the day to avoid being validated for organized criminal activity, and some even continue having illegal ventures on the side. This new breed of criminal is called Hangure, Han meaning half, and Gure meaning corrupted. By the end of the 90s, a group of young delinquents had begun to make a name for themselves for being extremely violent in western Tokyo. At 14 years old, Shinichi Mitate and Matsushima Cross gathered the local youth in Nagafukucho and formed a new branch of Black Emperors, despite it being disbanded the previous year. It wasn't like the original Black Emperors of the 70s and 80s, but instead a more violent group that focused on fighting, kidnapping, and torture of their enemies. 2 years later, at the age of 16, Mitate decides to rejuvenate the Kanto Rengo he remembered during the 80s. He was given the nickname the Prince of Cruelty for the iron-fisted leadership he had over his gang. Mitate is said to be extremely intelligent. He regularly scored over 140 on IQ tests given to him on the many trips to juvenile hall. That is considered to be extremely gifted. Unfortunately, he used his intelligence to advance his violent criminal behavior. Mitate was notorious for kidnapping his enemies and torturing them. There is alleged reports of him blinding his captured enemies. The new Kanto Rengo under Mitate's leadership had solidified its reputation as one of the Kanto area's most feared gangs by the early 2000s. The only significant resistance the Kanto Rengo faced was from the Kimura brothers, Taichiro and Kojiro, who had ties to the actual Yakuza. Mitate and the Kimura brothers were bitter rivals, always stepping on each other's toes in the Tokyo underworld. Until one day it comes to a head. The Kimura brothers execute a hit on Mitate's right-hand man. They bludgeoned him with a metal baseball bat. The police were unable to gain enough evidence linking the brothers to the murder, leaving the case cold. As you can imagine, this put Mitate into a rage-filled state, and he began to enact his revenge. Mitate made a vow that he would unalive the younger of the two brothers, Kojiro, and he vowed to do it with a bat the same way they did his friend. Unfortunately for Mitate, the Kimura brothers were fully aware of Mitate's intent to retaliate. They went into hiding, going from city to city all over Kanto, making it difficult to be tracked. After 4 years of meticulous planning and waiting, Mitate saw an opportunity to attack. On September 2nd, 2012, Mitate was alerted by one of his spies that Kojiro Kimura would be at the Club Flower in Roppongi. Mitate sprung into action and mustered 9 of his loyal associates and headed to Roppongi. The packed club and loud music made the perfect cover for what was going to happen. Without a moment's thought, they stormed the VIP booth they thought Kojiro was in and ruthlessly assault the man inside with metal bats. They bludgeon the man and leave without the club goers even noticing. The man suffered severe skull fractures and massive hemorrhaging, which ultimately ended his life. Unfortunately, the man that died was not Kimura Kojiro. The men had accidentally killed Ryosuke Fujimoto, a young business owner. He also had a striking resemblance to Kimura Kojiro and had the same limp when he walked. Rumors began to spread that the entire event was set up to trap Mitate with a murder charge. Allegedly, the Kimura brothers purposely leaked false intel about their whereabouts because they knew that he would jump on the chance to kill them. If the rumors are true about it being a setup, Kojiro's deceptive move ultimately saved his life. The police quickly linked Mitate to the murder with the help of CCTV footage. A manhunt ensued for all those involved. 18 people with ties to the Kanto Rengo were arrested in the following weeks. Several of the 18 arrested were at the nightclub on the night of the attack. Mitate Shinichi was able to evade capture and flee the country. He most likely fled to the Philippines. 3 out of the 18 were released due to insufficient evidence. With this one botched attack, most of their membership is in prison and their leader is in hiding. That, combined with the relentless pressure from the police, led to its official end in 2013. The current whereabouts of Mitate are unknown. People claim to have spotted him in Thailand and Vietnam, but those reports are unsubstantiated. He remains on the Interpol fugitive list to this day, and his picture is plastered in every train station and public gathering point in Japan. Today, the Kanto Rengo and bosozoku gangs as a whole are considered defunct, but there are still some groups of delinquent youth who use the Kanto Rengo banner and use symbolism associated with biker gangs of the 70s and 80s. As of this year, Japan is considered one of the safest countries in the world, and in my opinion is the direct result of the gang laws passed in the early 90s, making it virtually impossible to live in Japan as a career criminal. If you made it this far into my video and want to see more content like this, please leave a comment and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.